The first round pick, Ricky Pearsall. What does he look like? He looks not short. He looks not short. He doesn't look particularly muscled up. He seems like he moves relatively fluidly. It seems like if you get him a free release, if he's not getting jammed at the line of scrimmage, he can be pretty crafty. He can run. He's a good route runner. He can run double moves. He can get himself open if he can run without being touched for about 10 yards. So if it's zone coverage, if it's off coverage, he could be a problem. He had a play today where it was zone coverage and either there was a busted coverage or the pattern on offense just made him open, but there was no one around him. He just ran a fade route. No one was there. He also had another play. I mean, it was incomplete, but there was another play where he faced Renardo Green, man-to-man. Green lined about 10 yards off him, maybe a little less than 10. And Pearsall was able to get into his stride, ran a stutter go, which I thought was really good. And Green grabbed him about 10, 15 yards downfield, 15 yards downfield. And still, I thought Pearsall got by him. And the pass just didn't go to him. It should have. So he's interesting. But when he was pressed, meaning when he was at the line of scrimmage and a cornerback got in his face right at the line of scrimmage and put their hands on him, he didn't win. He didn't get open. He was ineffective. And I'm not just talking Renardo Green. I'm talking Isaiah Avery and Dan Callis, two players I'd never heard of. Are they on the practice squad? Were they undrafted free agents, or were they just invitees? So that's a little concerning. And this isn't a new revelation when it comes to Ricky Pearsall. What I saw today shows up on tape. If you give him a free release at the line of scrimmage, he's pretty tough to handle. If you press him, you can lock him up. And that's what I saw. So if you don't believe me, go back and watch the tape yourself. It seems like he cannot replace Ayuk. Brandon Ayuk is the X receiver. He lines up on the line of scrimmage the most. He faces the most press coverage, and he has the quickness, the explosiveness, the strength to win that battle quickly and get into his route. Pearsall does not. And that was the book on him coming out of college. It was on tape. It was confirmed today, at least in the 4 targets I saw. Of the 16 plays, 4 went to him, and he caught none of them. So that's okay, right? Like, Kyle Shanahan is great at scheming people open. He does it for Debo. But I thought the reason they were drafting a wide receiver in round 1 is because they were unable to beat man-to-man coverage, or Debo was unable to beat man-to-man coverage in the Super Bowl. Okay, well, Pearsall can beat off-man coverage, but he doesn't look like a guy who can beat press-man coverage from any position. So Kyle will have to scheme him open, and he can do that. But then when you get the ball in his hands, like, what next? Is he a threat? Is he dynamic with the ball in his hands? No. He'll turn up field and fall forward maybe and get all he can, but he's not dynamic. So how could he replace Debo? I don't understand that one. What I saw today isn't a guy who can replace Debo. I don't see that. Debo, you have to scheme him open, but then when you do scheme him open, he could go 50 yards, 70 yards, 90 yards. I didn't see that with Ricky Pearsall. So he didn't look like a first-round pick to me, which is, again, not a shock, right? The Niners didn't even give him a first-round grade. They drafted him in round 1, but they didn't give him a first-round grade. He was better, I thought. Like, this is first impression day. So let me compare it to my first impression of Brandon Ayuk, Debo Samuel, Dante Pettis, the highest drafted wide receivers in the Kyle Shanahan era. Rookie minicamp, Dante Pettis was rough. He ran an in-breaking route, which is what you got to run on the Niners. Those dig routes over the middle, in front of the safeties, behind the linebackers. and he alligator armed a pass. He kind of like jumped for it with one arm, didn't really commit to it, and to me that was a deal breaker. I think that did carry over. It was indicative of what he was going to become. Not tough enough for this team. Clear. You got to run digs all day on the 49ers. It's what they do. Those in-breaking routes, off play action. It's what they do. You get the linebackers to play the run, and then you throw the dig behind it. So he ran one of those routes today against, Pearsall. He ran it against Isaiah Avery, got no separation, ran it from the slot, and the throw was a little high. He wasn't open. So he's built like Dante Pettis for sure. And remember, Dante Pettis was a great route runner. If you give him a free release, he was a problem. He could run double moves. He was a really good route runner. But if you got your hands on him at the line of scrimmage, he was done because he wasn't strong. So Pearsall's built like Pettis. I'm not saying has Pettis' mentality. I can't judge that yet. I don't know. But Debo's first day at rookie minicamp, I remember thinking he's a lot more explosive. He's a lot faster than I realized watching on tape. I always felt that about Debo when he was young, that he was surprisingly fast and that he could win deep. And I remember he played mostly with the second team offense in training camp, but he won a lot. Brandon Ayuk played with the starters all throughout his rookie season because Emmanuel Sanders was gone, and he won instantly. Brandon Ayuk was easy to like immediately. He won. He produced in practice immediately with the starters. It was so obvious that Brandon Ayuk was going to be good. Maybe Ricky Pearsall will be just as good or almost as good, but I couldn't tell today. Is that a fair way to put it? I'm not writing off Ricky Pearsall. I'm not calling him Dante Pettis. There was nothing he did today that I thought was alarming, but he wasn't Debo. He wasn't Ayuk. He didn't look like a first-round pick, and he wasn't the best player in the field. I think that's all fair to say. I don't really see him replacing Debo as a starting flanker for this team. Maybe he will replace Jawan Jennings as the starting slot receiver, but what is Pearsall's 4-4 doing for you there? If you just want a guy to run dig routes and to be tough and to catch and to come down with those passes, wouldn't a guy who's 6'3" with a big catch radius be better suited for that than Ricky Pearsall? Like, he's 6'1" with real short arms. He doesn't give you a big target. That's a dangerous pass over the middle. If you miss it high, it's picked. If you miss it low, it's picked. Like, you want a guy who can go and get the ball. That's Jennings. That's Ayuk. It's not Pearsall. Pearsall looks like, to me, someone they thought could maybe replace Debo, and I don't know. So he's Debo, who's a better route runner, but not as good after the catch. You have to scheme him open, and when you do, he's not going to do much with the. But I thought he was unimpressive. Like, remember, you know how the Chronicle would give movie reviews, like the little dude in the chair, the fighter, he'd be like jumping out of his seat, clapping, or like giving like a golf clap, or like kind of just sitting back. I would say he was the guy sitting back in his chair, just like, okay. Some people thought he looked really good. I don't see how good you could look getting 4 targets and catching none of them. So yeah, that was Ricky Pearsall's first day. Matt McEwen says, and people think he isn't going to struggle against NFL corners. He was going against the rookies. What's he going to look like against Trevarius Ward and Diamador Lenore?